Okay, sounds good. Let's go, Max.
Good.
Good.
I had a couple of questions that we were just talking about. What items have you been building? I guess I can just check out your match history.
I
But
haven't particularly been playing on my main, but
uh,
there's sort of two builds that Tryndamere goes right now that I think are you could argue either way. Both start Kraken Slayer and both have IE third. And the second
mhm.
item could either be Navori or Essence Reaver. Navori just gives you more spins, but Essence Reaver has a lot more burst damage, and Kraken Slayer plus Essence Reaver with a Spellblade, like the damage is much more irregular. So that, and it's also 500 gold cheaper for very similar stats. So I think that Essence Reaver is a better spike, but you can really go either way on that.
Okay. Uh, so I mean, we'll play a game and we're gonna see it. But like, what do you think the issues are right now? Why do you think Tryndamere is so weak? Because I played against a Tryndamere a couple days ago and he was really annoying, but it didn't feel difficult to like lane against him. He just didn't feel like it did like the same damage. But we're gonna play and see it for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So for me in mid lane, I realize how much I've been boosted by just taking enemy jungle camps 24/7. And since Tiamat doesn't exist anymore, I can't do that. And
Oh,
so,
okay. Yes, Tiamat lost the active. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So I've tried both Tiamat and the Iron Spike Whip, and neither of them actually work
Okay.
particularly well. So there's that. And in general, he just does a little bit less damage right now. A couple of his items are getting buffed, uh, but they
Yeah, like Kraken
reverted.
Slayer.
They actually reverted the Kraken Slayer buff.
Oh, okay.
It,
Jesus.
yeah, it was going to be 5 AD more, and it turned out to not. But
Oh, you can queue up by the way. You should queue up so we can do this
yeah,
before game.
uh, let's right there.
Oh, okay. So can you send me the idea that you have been playing actively on? If you know, and I won't show it.
Yeah, yeah. It's just not. I'm just not having a fun time. Both just kind of being burnt out on League and Tryndamere being bad at the same time. Just
Mhm.
everything has just been kind of happening at the same time. So my actual win rate and everything have been pretty low in really, really bad elo. But yeah, yeah. Another thing about Tryndamere is that there's so much more damage in the game now. And to optimally play Tryndamere, you have to know everybody's damage all the time to optimally use his ults. And so I find myself missing like 2, 3 ults a game just because like the burst damage is so high. So I just need to get used to everybody's damage again.
Mhm. Okay.
But yeah, that'll happen anytime there's like massive changes to the game. Just needing to sort of understand everybody's damage profiles.
It looks like you have a really bad build path now, where you're buying like Noon Quiver and then Boots too. That looks really fucking bad.
Yeah, yeah. Like Noon Quiver is the best, and it's still really, really bad. A lot of people, especially when the patch first hit, a lot of people were just rushing Navori Quick Blades. But there's pretty much nothing in Navori that feels good to get as a first back. Get a Warhammer or a Quick Cloak. Neither of those really feel good.
Right. What was Tryndamere first buying before that was so good? Was he just going Hydra? He was
So
building some good item.
you generally went Tiamat and Essence Reaver, i.e.
Yeah, you had CDR. Oh, right. You had a shitload of CDR before.
Yeah, yeah. You'd often go Stinger into Essence Reaver, and that would get you 30, like really, really quickly.
Right. Okay. And then you build Triforce and you max out.
Yeah, yeah.
So now you are not getting any of this because you feel like you have to build Kraken Slayer, but maybe you don't.
I've tried other ones, like Gale Force is also getting buffed pretty significantly, and when I first started going Gale Force, it felt pretty good, but kind of have to see that after the patch. Because I think the execute on Gale's Force is really, really strong. Like 300 damage plus the extra dash, which can sort of make up for the lack of CDR. Because you already have
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
other mobility.
So your other alternatives are play a different champion if Tryndamere really fucking sucks.
Yeah, yeah. I was practicing Echo for a while, and it'll just take more games and to sort of get used to him. But I think Echo would be pretty good. Also, want to learn Oriana. I feel
Oh
like
yeah,
Oriana would probably be the best.
if you just want to play mid, Oriana's really good.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I think these are all mid Tryndamere games. Yeah, almost all of them are.
yeah. Because it'll also just sort of round out my tent pool in the sense of like Trend's bad, Oriana is everything that Trend isn't. So it'd be really good to,
And Oriana's OP until Wednesday.
yeah,
Oriana
yeah, with
goes
the
Muramana. Yeah.
Ramana, yeah, yeah. It's also the thing on Kassadin too, but don't recommend people go that.
Oh, I don't think Caston's that strong. I think Oriana's like the best user for this.
Oh yeah, yeah. Kassadin is definitely really weak, but with the Muramana, he's like a little bit less because all of
Wait,
his
you have
items got
Night
gutted.
Harvester? Yeah, what does Caston buy? Does he actually go Night Harvester? I don't know. What the hell? Wait, what are Caston's
Uh,
mythics? You can go Leandri's, Ludens, Night Harvester belt. Fuck,
uh,
Night Harvester might be the best.
yeah, the one I've seen doing the best is the multi kill. Multi kill is the harvester, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it's like a cooldown for every champion
yeah,
individually.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, like I feel if I can get like 2, 3 other champions that I can play at a competent level, that I can play in matchups where Tryndamere is just really bad, then it'll just be a lot better than just trying to force it every single time, like a
Hmm.
31 trick.
Yeah, Tryndamere might just be pretty bad right now.
Yeah,
I can't think of anything that like actually makes it better because he does want to buy Kraken Slayer, but it sucks to buy Kraken Slayer because it doesn't give him the same stuff that it gave him before. He's just losing a lot.
yeah, yeah. Which is why everybody was kind of rushing Navori, and a lot of people
Yeah.
still are. But like Navori gets stronger the more crit that you have. So getting it first is getting it at its weakest point,
Yep.
and I feel like that was a big reason why his win rate was so low. Just because Essence River was replaced by Navori, and so we bought the item that replaced Essence River. Like, thinking in the same paradigm as last season, as opposed to just adjusting to this season with a blank slate.
Yeah, and it might even be that like Essence Reaver is just better. This gives you 30 ability haste with Quick Blades, which just gives you 20. But I'm pretty sure
It's
for like
also,
most of the game, Sheen's gonna be more useful than.
oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Like one thing is having another Tryndamere player on my team. Yeah. Word. Okay. No.
You're scared. Good to know.
Oh yeah. Doesn't look like he's gonna dodge right away, but guaranteed dodge. Oops. Can't even really play funnel anymore. What's the point of baiting funnel? But this is a thing that people just like to do a lot.
It probably still scares people if you pick all like Master Yi supporting champions.
Yeah, yeah. Because like 80% of the time it's gonna be a bait, but what about that 20% that it's actually a funneler?
Even if he had good items, he's just losing damage because of the crit nerf. It's so bad. There's so many things going wrong.
Yeah, yeah, it's just not good. Whereas before you would have a lot of damage getting the CDR build, but now you kind of have to choose to either get the Kraken Slayer or the CDR.
Yeah, Ginsu's makes the crit damage okay, but then you lose mobility.
There's a thing that you can do sometimes is just rush Rage Knife and then sell Rage Knife later on. Rage Knife will be pretty strong early. You're pretty much just the strongest champion in the game because with Trynd's just base crit, just Rage Knife alone gives you so much damage. I think it's like 80 on hit damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're getting passive crit chance. Okay.
Yeah.
And it only costs 800.
Yeah.
So you just buy Rage Knife and then sit on it forever.
Yeah, sit on it probably until you want IE. You can't have both.
Oh, limited to one crit modifier item? Yeah, so you can't buy IE and you can't buy this and Rageblade?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what you do because this also sells for 560, so you're only investing. What you do because this also like 240 gold. This is what you lose.
Yeah, you don't really lose a lot. It was a lot better when Rage Knife used to work on turrets, because you could have a single wave and be taking 3 plates on it like really early, like pre-6. But Rage Knife doesn't work on turrets anymore, so that, at least to me, was the biggest benefit of going it. Wasn't a thing. Yeah, I think overall, after the next buffs, next patch, it'll probably be a lot better. The only item that I would really get that is getting buffed is just 5 AD on Essence Reaver. Kraken Slayer reduction, but I don't know if they're really going to change it properly.
There's so many horrible things that I'm seeing now with all his builds. Like he wants to build Rage Blade, but then he loses mobility when he gets Rage Blade. So then like, oh, you could go Gale Force if you do the Rage Blade build, but then you have Gale Force instead of Kraken Slayer. So now you're sacrificing damage. Like, why do you have to pick one as Tryndamere? Why do I have to pick between mobility and damage? This is awful.
Yeah, it's not been a fun time. And then also, Tryndamere's early damage has been nerfed so much. Even sort of, Tryndamere got like a 5 AD buff, which was decent, but it doesn't exactly make up for the crit reduction.
Okay. So I guess this makes sense now that you would just do Kraken Slayer and like Essence Reaver with Tiamat early. Oh wait, no, you don't get Tiamat early. You get Tiamat late. Fuck, Tiamat sucks too. Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah.
Can't farm.
I still
Okay.
I don't understand that at all. It's like Tiamat is just half of what it was before, and it's basically the same price. So bad. It's not until it becomes Hydra where it becomes really strong.
Yeah, at least Hydra has Omnivamp now, so it is better. But yeah, now it's like, oh, do you even want to buy Tiamat? Or do you just want to buy like Warhammer and Vamp Scepter?
Yeah. And then the people who liked Hydra and stuff before aren't really the best users, where like Graves is really good with Hydra. Champions who never used Hydra use it really well now.
Gee, Urgot's good with Hydra.
Yeah.
I want Urgot to be good so bad.
Isn't there some kind of bug with it, with Hydra, where it only works on the first auto?
I think it is bugged, yeah. I think Hydra and Urgot is bugged.
Yeah. Once that gets fixed, he'll probably be really strong.
Yeah, okay. It is.
NA Q times.
Oh yeah, that was 14 minutes to your Master Zero FD. That's insanity.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, my bad. You see Zoe played it all?
No. Very rarely. Yeah.
Are you certain?
My just absolute favorite thing about mid trend is when I tell my first pick to pick Tryndamere, they counter it with Malphite, and then we counter Malphite with Silas.
You're gonna go mid.
It's just the best feeling in the world. How the sort of draft advantages that you get from it. Probably against a Yasuo.
Sounds not so bad.
Yeah, yeah.
This'll be a slaughter.
Oops. Yeah, this is one thing you said last coaching session. There was a dodge for the Yasuo matchup. I said that Yasuo was a free matchup after 4. And there's one thing that you said that really good is like don't think of matchups as kind of static things. Like you just react to the situation you have. Like generally Yasuo can be a bad matchup until level 4, but if I see the opportunity, I should take it.
Oh yeah, I say this because one tricks often learn matchups down to like, or they'll try to do this because they put so much time into the champion, where they try to define matchups in like really rigid terms.
Yeah,
Uh,
like
and
you were in
yeah, that can
Aurelia one
lock.
trick.
Yeah, I played Aurelia for like for 3. I might have told you about this, where I would say
Yeah.
things like, oh yeah, at like level 5 and 7, like I can kill Jace,
Hmm?
because it changes like how I can kill the caster minions, and now it's like easier for me to get close to Jace, and then I can stun him with like Emax, and I end up killing him. But it's like, oh, this was a really bad way to think about the game. If I'm like only trying to kill him on level 5 and 7, because there's opportunities like when I'm level 3 and 4 and 6, obviously, that I'm able to like do similar things as well. But because I've like thought of the game just in terms of Aurelia, I'm not able to see like the grander scheme of like Laney. So I sort of lock myself
Yeah.
out of like the perspective because I'm only playing one character. So like playing one character, you have to be thinking more of the game from the perspective of like everything that your opponent does, and this kind of makes it like that you're not even just like playing one character over and over. You have to think of it more like, oh, you're just playing League of Legends over and over, instead of like being a one trick. But yeah, like the way that it's framed, like the narrative is that you are a one trick. You can only play this one character. It's almost like detaching it from League of Legends. So
Yeah,
yeah, you
yeah.
don't you can be like that.
There's sort of a meme that I always say is that I don't play League, I play Tryndamere.
Yeah, yeah. I think this like inhibits people from learning stuff about the game if you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
feel like you're playing Tryndamere.
I think it might be Seraphine mid lane. It's always bot
Yeah.
Yasuo that takes exhaust.
Mm.
Do you see the game just fine, by the way?
Yeah, I'm trying to move some stuff.
Oh, okay. Spell thieves. Nice. 60 gold.
Oh, she bought a refill. Holy fuck.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, Olaf might have gotten XP for that. Didn't matter too much, especially since he's jungle. Yeah, yeah. If he misses Q, I can definitely beat him.
Okay, cool.
Okay, never
Oh,
mind.
sorry. Okay. You should still be hitting the wave. You should still try to slow push. Just hit it like once or twice. Oh, nice. This is really good when she does like this. Yeah, you could have eat onto her like right when she queued.
Oh, what am I doing?
Yeah, you missed auto, but this is fine. This is winning. Yep, really good. Okay, now we're chilling because we want the wave to stay in the center. So you don't want to auto too fast. If she does this, you're totally fine with that. Yep.
Yep.
If she walks up for another last hit, now you can Eon to her again. You'll make her pop a potion. So like you're looking at that melee minion as it gets lower. Oh yeah, don't that. Oh, really good. When she does this, it's helping you right now.
Yeah, yeah.
You want the wave to stay in the center. So see, you can't Eon her right now because she's too close to her turret. So you want
Yeah,
the
yeah.
wave to like be either closer to your turret or in the center. She's gonna try to Q here again. Oh no, she's just autoing. So either on this creep or the next one, you can Eon to her. Oh, you're too far up right now.
Yeah, that was really
you're too
bad.
close. You need to let her walk forward.
Yeah, that was ends. Wave's still good, and I'll sustain up
Yep.
in time.
Yeah, just put you on cooldown for a while. Like,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
not going to be able to fight her on this cannon, where normally you would be able to. So you're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
losing some opportunities. Really good opportunities now. When she walks up, if she walks up to CS a minion with an auto, she's on 1 stack too.
I have no idea how this champion works.
Oh, she only has like 2 spells right now. Her W's just a heal. Holy shit, that crit. Oh, you didn't get another though.
I can. No, I could have killed her if she walked up more.
Okay, yeah. So
But
so far there's
maybe watch
been
out for
like
Olaf.
there's been some problems with timing where like that outcome is, or like the what the hell? Okay. She TP'd. We'll go over this after because it's a lot to explain right now.
Yeah, I'm feeling very poor mechanically right now.
You really just want to
Did I
recall
go
right
for
now,
that?
so you're just trying to crash. No. Don't help your jungler. You're just trying to get out of lane because she TP'd on you. Try not to crash this wave. Try to crash the next one. Try to crash the next wave.
Okay.
But she might try to kill you. So just try to keep healthy and then crash next wave. If you have to, just take a bad recall. Yeah, I think just take the bad recall. She's gonna end up pushing and she's low mana, so it's not so hard. I think you'll just trade recalls. Now watch her as you do this. If she just kills the wave really fast, you just want to try to last it under turret or just get the XP and then recall. If she's just slow pushing, yeah, she can't push that fast, so just run back as soon as possible. I'll refill. Yeah. Yeah, so you end up missing this wave, but yeah, this is really avoidable. Even like with like the bad mechanics, this is oh, I guess maybe not, because if we're talking about like camera control and like where your eyes are looking, like this would probably like fall under mechanics as well, and like I think these are where the problems are, is like what you're looking for.
Yeah, for sure. I'm like feeling like 30 IQ dumber right now in terms of my cans.
Yeah. If it's just like the slowness, you don't want to crash this wave because the next wave arrives really soon. So you're gonna crash this wave, but there's not gonna be a whole lot to do, and you don't have a lot of time. And especially
Yeah.
like
I was thinking about placing
right
my
now.
pink ward
Oh yeah, you can do that.
right here, or
Where do you want to place it? We'll talk about this because this is a whole string of questions. But yeah, for now, just place it.
yeah.
Olaf should top. And yeah, it shouldn't be there, but that's not the point. We're gonna figure out so what we'll talk about is how am I supposed to figure out where I should put it?
Yeah, for sure.
It's not like the most important decision ever, for especially in solo queue, but it will impact your games if you know really well how to figure this out.
Yeah.
Same thing here. If she walks up to auto, you can just be on it.
Because I used to have much more of a system when I could just do Tiamat and roam and push more, but now it's just a lot worse.
Nice, you got the wave. Really good. Nice.
Since I hit 6, I didn't need to flash, but I think it's probably better to flash right there and have my ult right now, just in case fight breaks out. Olaf tries to come or something.
Oh no, you would rather ult than flash, but it was just really hard to do that.
Yeah.
Because you had level up as the turret shot was going.
Yeah.
And then R and everything. Yeah. But it would have been a better outcome. Okay, this is really, really good now. So, okay. Yes, the worst build path of all time. Okay.
Yeah.
And then another dagger, I guess. Disaster. Okay. So when you buy Noon Quiver, you want to farm camps, right? But then you need a Vamp Scepter because you have no sustain, or maybe Tryndamere could do it anyway.
So it's really pretty much can't farm breaks until you get completed item and a half. But I could go for red if I wanted to.
Okay.
If I thought Olaf was top right now, I would just go for red.
Okay.
Wolves are possible. With that timing, I think the red might be up. Just let this wave come into me and try to go for a play.
Yeah, you shouldn't stand right side. You should stand left because Olaf just killed dragon. Ah!
Fun. But yeah, I get the point.
Yeah. Well, your camera's placed really weird. Yeah, watch Seraphine. Olaf's right side now, so... Or he's left side, sorry. So you stand right. Okay, are you just backing on boots too? What else can you back on right now? You just want to finish Kraken.
Yeah, I could either back on boots or quick cloak or both. I could push right now and get boots.
Yes,
I think
push
that's
right
the
now.
best.
Push right now. Yes, you'll push quickly right now. And you have like 20. You have like 20 seconds to push.
Yeah, it's a really good time.
Nah, she might hold this way, but it's okay. It's okay. Oh, Olaf on top.
does.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you see Olaf, it would have been fine to like make her stop doing that, but it looks like you're gonna win. Maybe trade 1 for 2. Okay. Oh no, Olaf is too powerful.
Yeah. Iron Spike. Gordricker is just crazy on some champions. Go from like 0 to 100, just active healing. I would like to try to... I think Jinx or Jin and Annie are really good lanes to roam on. And Yasuo.
You wanna roam right now? Because you just pushed, so I'm like it feels like you want to just move to that. Okay, so as you're going here, place your pink ward somewhere. You could place it in this bush. You can place in that one too. Especially if you're looking to like invade right into the future. Yeah.
Soraka backed.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good.
Okay. That's fine.
And then you go back mid, and you miss 1 creep mid. You miss 2 creeps mid.
Yeah. If I don't get the cannon, I at least get the XP from it.
Oh, you missed 1. You missed 1. You don't miss the cannon. You won't miss the cannon. You're fine. And Seraphine just recalled. Your bot lane recalled, and your top's dead, so...
Okay, I could back and get
there's
a
no
crit
camps to
or
invade.
a
So
wave.
yeah, the only thing to do here is to, if you're going to push, is just to take 1 wave. And yeah, the alternative is just to hold the wave.
I've crashed. Would that be a thing that I would ever consider, is like kind of holding the wave right here and then letting my wave crash into their turret? Like if I didn't attack those minions right there.
Oh, wait a second.
He has no flash, so I'm good.
So if the enemy laner isn't in lane, you can do this, and you can deny them a lot of creeps. But since Seraphine showed, like right as you were running past the turret, or right as you got the plate, you can't do this anymore, because she'll just farm under the turret, and then she'll like poke you while she's doing it.
Yeah.
You could pull the wave very slightly, so it makes the wave slow push into you, where it would normally be an even wave.
I should just not go for this. Okay.
It's fine, yeah. You pull TP to the cannon, she'll do it.
Yeah.
Sejuani would do it. Okay.
He shouldn't die, but I don't know.
She won't die.
A lot more trust than I do.
I'm sure she won't die, okay? Her name is like Barbaric Dictator. Like, how can she die?
Yeah.
Just... I don't know. Just running a dictatorship over the game? I don't know, dude.
I mean, Tryndamere is the barbaric dictator. Literal
That's
barbarian
true.
king. Yeah. I should have pinged that. I knew
Olaf
that
ran
Olaf was
straight bot. He
coming.
didn't do any of his camps. Killed this wave and baited his red. Oh fuck, you can't do it. Is he low? Can you fight him? Can you fight Olaf?
Yeah, I can.
Oh no, well we can tell if you can fight Olaf. In 20 seconds you can fight him. He's gonna do crab first, and he's gonna go to his red. You can probably get his red and then fight him when your ult is
Yeah,
up. Yeah. Seraphine went top. I think everyone else recalled down. He's coming to you.
Yeah, we're chilling,
Oh.
we're chilling.
He did dragon, then he'll do crab, then he'll come here. So
I
you
just
could
meet
also
him right
just
here?
Yeah,
Meet him
yeah,
right
if you want
here.
to fight him. Who knows if you win this, but fight to the death. You win this. You must.
Yeah, easy.
Okay, cool.
Raka's there. With that plan.
Oh no, just farm, just farm it. Yeah, Annie will figure out if he takes the crab or not. Yeah. Ah, run. Yeah.
I have
Yeah,
a
just
good
let him
regen,
push-
so
let
I
him
can just
push.
chill. Yeah.
Yeah. Let him. Like, don't show. Don't let him know you're there. Just pretend like you recalled. He'll push the wave. He'll go somewhere else, and then you'll farm the wave, and then you'll recall. Or you'll farm this wave, then clear the next one, then recall, depending on where he goes. So if he clears this wave, then goes top. You farm this wave slowly under turret. And just wait. Now go into fog again. Just wait. Because he might be standing mid.
Okay, he's top.
Push the wave. There you go. Push the wave.
Yeah. Oops.
Oh shit.
I was in.
Yeah.
My E didn't even like clear anything.
Yeah, you eat into nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have completed item? Yep.
Yeah, I have Kraken.
Okay, cool.
Kraken plus 600 is ideal right now, but like it'd be ideal for me
another
to stay on this wave. Yeah.
Yep. If you have a better recall.
Yeah.
If you can push her out too. You can also fight her on this wave. If you want to just stay there.
Because I also have red.
So watch her when she walks up to Q. Oh wait, she's super long range. Holy shit. Try to deny her cannon. This champ's just attacking you from the other side of the lane.
Yeah, that's fine. She could roam bot right now.
Yeah, it's fine. There's nothing to do bot. Guys, just leave.
I should go bot now after clearing this wave.
Oh, I mean, you're just farming. So if the bot wave, if they,
Because they took bots,
now,
right?
so, yeah, you don't want to go bot if they keep freezing like this because they'll probably kill you. So you need someone else to go with you. Also, like you can just say fuck that wave and then go top. So definitely push this wave and then watch the bot wave. If you can get Sejuani to come bot with you, you can break the freeze. Otherwise, you'll just go top because it's really scary to go there. Oh, are they pushing now? Yeah, keep watching them. Keep watching bot. Yeah, I think it's pushing now. So just, yeah, go with Sejuani. Oh, they saw you, but it's okay,
Yeah.
You can keep going. Olaf's top side. It's safe now, Yeah. The scary thing is that there can be like 3 or 4 people there.
Yeah.
If
I
there's
think I
just 2,
can.
like, you can.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could have 1v2'd them anyway.
Yeah, you can 1v2 them, but the freeze is scary because it can be everyone.
Yeah. Oops. Oh, okay. I will commit to this. I have no idea.
Sejuani mechanics.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think you got it.
Nice.
Okay. So you'll farm this. You don't care about the turret. You just want the minion wave. So next wave spawning. Oh, they quit. No.
Okay. That's so doomed. But
Okay.
I feel like that was probably like the best sort of focus on a game that I've had in
Oh.
entire preseason.
Oh shit. Okay, there's a lot of stuff
No
to
way.
talk about.
No way. That's a bad way of framing it.
Yeah.
That's probably the worst way to frame it as possible. But I don't know. Preseason has not been fun for me. Because nice 20.
Holy shit, you got 22. Nice.
I was getting like 14 or something at the end of the season.
So this Hopefully
Another
this
big
works.
reason why I wasn't playing on my main was 0 LP. Didn't feel like taking the chance on demoting and then having to get back.
Oh, I'm opening up the wrong file. Oops.
Not sharing.
No, I want pot player. Okay, there we go. My screen. Okay, 1 second.
Yeah, I have very low experience actually laning against Seraphine and 0 experience laning against good Seraphines, so that's one thing to consider.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah.
the spacing against Seraphine looked really difficult to do, like on the fly, because I feel like you didn't know her range, which is fine.
Yeah.
Some of these things, the range just doesn't matter. You're just gonna you're just gonna see Seraphine kill Seraphine. So
Yeah,
like this is a good trade.
I
Nice.
like just stopped autoing for a second. I didn't
Yeah,
block.
just mechanically got played bad.
Yeah.
And it should have been a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
So
I
what you're looking
also
for is that
missed
she
a minion
stopped
with a
right
spin.
there. You can do it.
Yeah,
So you auto here and then spin right now. Spin right now.
Yeah, that would have been
There's
the
also
better
another
timing.
perfect opportunity to spin right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Because she's stuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is still fine though. She's just slow, so you get this. Really good trade. So what I was saying during this was you want to keep the wave all right here.
Hmm?
What the hell? Well, okay. It should work now. Okay. You want to keep the wave in the center because if you push even just a little bit, mid Tryndamere is going to have a huge problem, like poking them under turret, even if the wave moves up just a little bit. So you need to keep the wave position either pushing into you a little bit and go into like here. You just don't want it to be here. You want it like this is okay, this is good, this bad.
Yeah, for sure.
Here.
You need like a certain amount of range to be able to get any trades on, and if it's not within that range,
and you want to proc phase rush so you can run away without getting poked back.
Yeah.
So you need the space to like get these 3 hits in this E auto or the E W auto.
Yeah.
WE auto, I guess. So now there's issues with your camera where at any point during this time, you could just be E'ing into her right now because if she ever goes for an auto, she's even like in range right now. Even just like an E auto right now is really good because she can only Q auto you. So you just want to keep trading with her to make her blow TP early or to even like land a kill on her.
And like not having phase rush against her is not as punishing as other champions because like what is she gonna do really? It's trade back damage.
Okay,
so I generally like thinking about trading on phase rush timings, but this is an obvious time that I should just trade even without it.
That might be a one trick thing too, where you're really
no, for sure.
deep into your runes. Yeah. Instead of like the game. Yeah.
I don't even play Tryndamere. I play phase rush Tryndamere.
Yes, where it becomes so specialized that it stops being about League of Legends.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many opportunities before this, while the wave is in the center, like this. So like this minion, there's a cool minion aggro thing that isn't so important, but this minion gets hit first by this caster, and he isn't aggro by any of these melees, so he'll consistently do this. He'll run this way because no melee is attacking him right now, and then a caster hits him, so that minion's going to walk forward. This isn't so important for Tryndamere. It can be in some matchups, but this will happen pretty consistently. It helps Seraphine here.
Yeah.
But then it goes back. I actually have no clue why it goes back. Hold on. What the hell? It's supposed to stay there. What hits him? What?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh wait, does he not get hit at all? Wait a second. Something really weird happened in threat. Oh wait, does Seraphine aggro on does Seraphine? What the fuck? Never mind. I'm confused again. I tried to figure out what happened. I thought it made sense. I don't get it. Okay, I'll look at this again later. Holy fuck.
I guess minions haven't been the same for years.
Yes, true. I mean, I don't know. No one understands minions still.
Yeah.
I guess, because I've never heard anyone speak with like a lot of confidence on this issue of like how minion aggro exactly works or like how the threat system works.
It's just the
Uh,
issue of how many bugs are present at any given time. That's how they work.
or, like inconsistencies. Oh yes, this
Yeah,
E is
yeah.
really bad, but this is mechanics.
Yeah, yeah.
But what you should just be looking for is because when I say mechanics, I can mean a lot of different things because we're not
Mhm.
really sure. Like, we have to agree on what we mean when we say mechanics. So like when I say mechanics, it's like, oh, I don't think your eyes are in the right place at the right time, and maybe you're like reacting to the wrong event, uh, where you think like now is the time to go. Uh, it's not just like you pressed E at the wrong time. It's like you were trying to hopefully you're trying to look at like the minions that she's auto attacking so that you can get in range of her, but either you misjudged the range you were at, or your eyes were not looking at the right thing at the right time. But a lot of things go wrong. This is a really bad outcome because you E the entire wave and miss her,
Yeah, I
where now
didn't
she feels really safe.
I didn't think she could have gotten that minion from so far away.
Mhm.
And for what I think of Seraphine, I think that she should have been able to be within a threat range by getting that minion.
Yeah,
So yeah, yeah.
okay. Oh, yeah, I understand. So when she uses Q as if she's going to hit the minion, you feel like that means that you're in range.
Yeah, yeah. It feels like she shouldn't be able to get it from that far, even
Yeah,
though she
okay.
is.
Okay. And yeah, this causes a lot of bad outcomes. Like now you want to fight her for this cannon because especially because of how your first trade went.
But I'm too low and no fury
Yeah,
to
you're
do it.
too low and with no cooldowns. Yeah, no cooldowns and no fury.
Yeah, yeah. So
So,
I'm just not really setting myself up for plays when they're more guaranteed. Like even if that was a better play, or even if that play did work on that earlier minion, I could have just waited until later for it to be a like a guaranteed flash burn play. Because
oh
if I
yeah,
can, yeah, because if I can get a trade right here, all the way here, there's much more auto attacks that I can get off once it's closer.
hmm. So because of the bad outcomes, she's able to like slow push a really big wave on you, and then by the time that you've actually found the winning trade, you have no minions left.
Yeah, yeah.
So when you E onto her right now, she kills the wave at the same time, and the minions are gonna walk forward. So this is the issue here, where your timing on the trade doesn't allow for this trade to work. Even if you like make her recall right now, and I don't even think you should make her recall. She has both her potions, but I think she ends up recalling after this. She could just use both her potions, stay in lane, and crash on you, and now she has an EXP advantage as well. But I think she backs and recalls, and it's really bad of her to
I
do
think I should have.
this.
I think I should have ignited her right there. Not even necessarily to get the kill, but I feel like she probably would have flashed. If I would have ignited right there, one I would have cut the healing damage, and then like it
Like
makes
right
them.
now.
Yeah, yeah. It would make her feel like there's something I know that she doesn't.
You might actually kill her because you have Nimbus Cloak. You might actually end up killing her.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like igniting here would have been a good idea.
Yeah, sometimes you do kill her there too if you crit again.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, igniting here is not the worst thing ever, especially when the lane is sort of disaster after after like this E that goes wrong after this E.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's fine. It's fine to take a gamble with this ignite because it's already pretty bad. But what
One thing
changes? Because right now we're in a bad spot. Yeah, what's up?
One thing I've been doing in general, like especially in matchups that are a lot worse, like it'll take longer for me to find a window, is I'll just ignite really aggressively on a trade early, both to kind of force them to use their sustain, and to kind of get some pressure in the lane. Like against LeBlanc, I'll probably just try to get an ignite trade level 1 in, because I'm never going to have kill pressure within the next 3 minutes anyways. Like would just is there any value in sort of pressure igniting is what I'm trying to ask.
If it makes them take a bad recall, it's really good. If you using that on them and it actually makes them recall.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you use ignite and you don't kill them and they stay in lane, oftentimes it just gives them a better idea of how much damage you can do. Honestly,
Yeah, yeah.
So you asked me where to put the control ward, and you have to ask like a bunch of questions to get to that point. And it's like, oh, if you asked me when it was the time to place the control word, where you should place the control word, it's like, oh, we need to go like way back to talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
this.
for sure, for sure. Like figure out where
It's
the jungle
important
is
now.
pathing. Yeah.
When you ward, and now you need to see his CS, and you need to try to figure out where he passed. And then when you have the control ward, you need to be walking through his camps if you have the time to. So right now, when you crash this wave, we have to start using game timer as a measurement of what's going on right now, because we need to measure out exactly how much time we have and what we can do right now. So I say that pushing this wave right now is bad while you're doing it. The
Yeah.
reason I'm saying that is because the wave arrives in mid. It arrives 8 seconds faster than side lanes. So we look at game timer right now. The seconds, the minutes don't really matter. We're just looking at the seconds. So right now it's 10. Oops. I don't know how to undo. Okay. The mid wave will be right here at 23. And then since every wave shows up at 30 seconds, it'll be here at 23 and it'll be here at 53. It might be a little bit farther than this, but I use this as like the limiting factor for how we're able to crash waves. So
Yeah,
if
this is really useful.
let's say the seconds say like 20 seconds right now, and I just killed the minion wave like right here, and my minions start walking forward. Even if this does crash and it's really close right now, if it crashes, it won't like fully crash. The casters will like aggro the next wave, and I'll miss a lot of minions. So it would be better in that case if I didn't kill the whole wave, waited the extra like 4 or 5 seconds for the minions to pass this point. Passes here at 23. This would be like, then you could say like here is like 25.
And you were able to kill the
this
minions not inside of their turret.
Yep. Then you kill the whole wave, and then maybe we kill that wave in like 15 seconds. We kill it at now like it says 40. Now I have 13 seconds left over to go ward, to go do this ward that I want. Before the next wave even gets to the tier 1 turret, let alone in the center of the wave, let alone me missing minions. So now you have maybe you have like 20 seconds until you actually miss a minion to like do this ward and get back.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
We can make this calculation super fast when we're using game timer as our measurement, instead of just looking at the minimap and like guessing. We know like exactly how much we need. Yeah.
That's a very like solid, good framework, because like it's when you don't have this framework, you just kind of go by like intuition, and having the actual like solid sort of math behind it just make everything so much more easy and reliable. So this is really good.
Yeah, it should feel reliable. That like when you can recognize this, it feels like it'll work every time. So this is like why I can say right now that like, oh, this is not going to lead to like a good result, because the next wave shows up right now in 3 seconds.
Yeah, because
and you'll see 20.
Like the cannon or the caster minions aren't even under the turret, so they're not going to be killed by it either.
Yeah, and they'll aggro this minion instead of the turret.
Yeah.
You want them to aggro the turret, so it just holds the wave and not deal damage to it.
Yeah.
And then when you get this extra time, what it allows you to do, because right now what you can't do, because this is the slow push right now, and you're also going to lose some creeps if you leave. It doesn't feel like you can actually leave lane, but it doesn't feel like you can trade with Seraphine either. So now we have some problems. Where if we did this alternative where we just waited and then pushed the next wave, we don't have to settle with this ward. We can walk through Olaf's red side jungle, and we can place a ward where like the most relevant information would be. So probably red buff, because that's why I'm asking you questions about like, hey, what camps can you kill? And like how effective is Tryndamere at actually like farming any of these camps? So you say like, oh, we can't really kill raptors. So it's like, okay, don't really care about the raptors word. We're asking questions like this because Olaf isn't going to kill us off of a gank. I think that's like pretty unrealistic that Olaf and Seraphine are even going to kill Tryndamere in lane. So we're just looking for like, hey, what information can we get that's really useful to us that can like allow us to do something? So probably red buff, because what we end up doing later is if you get pushed on a wave, you can go invade the red buff, take the red buff, and then fight Olaf when he face checks you for it. As long as you get a lot of time to do this. So this is without considering Olaf's like a full path, because this might also interfere. There's a lot of information to take in. You have to do it really fast. But just thinking about like what Tryndamere wants to do and what he's able to do, we're able to figure out pretty quickly that it's like, oh, we just need to pink ward either the red buff or the bush like right in front of the red buff, and then try to figure out how I can push a wave in time so that I can go show up to that red buff when it spawns and then take it and fight Olaf.
Yeah, so that's
sort of like the thought process.
Yeah, that's one thing, is like sort of understanding the jungle makes it so much easier for me to understand what I'm supposed to be doing. And like pathing for jungle generally changes pretty consistently in terms of like what general paths people kind of take. Should I try to play jungle a little bit myself, or should I just watch like high elo VODs or watch my own VODs to like stay up to date on what jungle pathing is?
Oh, so what I just said to you doesn't understand jungle. Doesn't even like take into account
Yeah,
jungle.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But sometimes you will have to do that. Sometimes you will have to understand like what camps the enemy jungler like is going to take to understand like what an effective ward is going to look like.
Hmm?
It's really like yes, you should play jungle to improve on this, but will like improving on this like help you like immensely like climbing or like winning more games? Probably not for a big or like a long while.
Hmm?
As long as you can understand what your character wants to do really well and how the opponents are going to like try to respond to that, this is most of what's going to like make you feel really hard to play against, or like what's going to like put the most pressure on the opponents. Really understanding like what the opponents like want to do, especially when we're talking about like the junglers. When we're talking about supports, for instance, like should you play support to like avoid like a Pantheon getting pushed bot and then like roaming on you? Should you understand like all the timings for like when he's able to push in bot lane and like all the matchups and support that he's able to win? It's like,
Hmm?
yeah, that is a good thing to know, but is that really what's going to be making the difference for you in like winning League of Legends games? In solo queue, probably not. In competitive games, like definitely yes. This
Yeah.
is like super important. Yeah.
So there's like the base framework that I should be understanding that is completely irrelevant to meta. Like in terms of trying to ward to get what information that I can, regardless of what jungle paths there are. There's information that's always information that's sort of going to be evergreen. Like it's always going to be useful. Would that be
Hmm.
full understanding, or is that kind of what you're trying to say?
When you say meta, I'm just curious what exactly you mean.
Like just generally how people are playing the game at any given time. Like people like to have their sort of patterns, and there are going to be some things that I can do based on what patterns people do. Like last season, I would push in the first two waves and invade the enemy jungle on their third camp and kill them a lot of the
Mhm.
time.
Okay.
That doesn't really happen with current pathing, so that's like that would be a meta specific adaptation. Whereas they're like playing to keep the wave in my center instead of like cheese, like pushing and invading. This is something that's always going to be useful, no matter how people are generally trying to play the game.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So understanding how your wave works relative to like game timer always going to be helpful. Yeah, it doesn't matter
Yeah,
how
yeah,
people play. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And like knowing specific paths and like how you might be able to invade based on like specific paths that people happen to be doing often. Yeah, that information will be temporarily useful. Yeah, that's sort of how I'm trying to categorize it right now.
yeah,
Where
yeah,
if you know how people are playing in jungle, it might help you. But like again, what you're actually after is like this like full understanding of like jungle, which is really hard to get, especially if you don't have that full understanding of like lane,
yeah, yeah.
because you require both.
I should be at this point trying to focus on the things that are applicable 90% of the time, or like 99% of the time, as opposed to um, trying to figure out things that'll be useful maybe once every 10 games. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, so that you can win 90% of your games.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, instead of winning 1 out of 10, for sure.
yeah.
Yes. Um, Okay, so this was another wave that I thought was really interesting because you were pushing and you were talking about bot lane and you were talking about roaming bot lane, and I was almost like acting confused, like, oh, do you want to roam right now? It seems like you're pushing right now, so like you want to roam. But the reason I was like confused or like I wasn't sure exactly what was going on is because you didn't look bottom at all before this. Maybe you looked like right now. Yeah, you look like right now when the wave was on the turret. Um, but when the wave is on the turret right now, when do you think you need to be bottom to actually do this roam normally?
When a wave is crashing.
When a
Wait,
wave is
what do
crashing,
you?
or when the it can't just be like under turret right now because now the wave's in the center, and when you're walking, it's like,
Yeah,
oh, we probably just can't kill them,
it needs to be
and you're
under
not.
turret in like in the in the 15 seconds before I roam. Like it needs to match
Yes,
up with when I get there.
they end up crashing here, and this ends up being okay. They end up like crashing really fast because the opponents are just like AFK, and then you kill Soraka because she's actually just like walking into you.
Yeah,
But normally you don't actually get a lot out of this, and you can lose a lot out on the map
yeah,
because
yeah,
like
for sure.
the plan has to be longer, or the plan has to like have a better setup than this. Because like even what could happen is uh, as you go for this dive, there's 4 people bot side. So since you only do this play on 1 wave, they could just give up a wave.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
for
really
sure.
hard for you to do anything here. And
Eh,
especially, I mean, so Olaf's dead, so this does make it easier. Did Olaf die top side? Olaf died top side.
So,
Yeah,
so
so
this is something where like I benefited just out of consequence, not out of like sound principles.
was this the red buff thing? Red buff is not up yet. Hold on, let me think all the way through this. Oh no, because you pushed before he died. Okay. So now you didn't push knowing he was dead.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But I also feel like we would win 3v even under turret. I feel like that's not something I should rely on, but
Oh, so the alternative is just you slow push this wave, crash the next one, and then do that.
yeah, yeah, that would make sense.
But if you know that he's dead, this is what I was like arguing with myself for a second. If you see that Olaf is dead right now, it's better to just push and go because Olaf is only dead for 20 seconds. So then you see like we put 20 seconds into the game timer and we see Olaf spawns at like 9:50, 9:51, for example, if he's just dead for 20 seconds. And then if I have to kill the wave at 9:53, am I able to kill this entire wave? I think it's also a cannon wave right now, and then like move bottom and dive them if Olaf like knows that I'm trying to do this. And that is like in that instance, I think it's better to just push 1 wave. But when
Like
you
if
do
I
the
knew that he was going to die, but if
yeah,
not, I
if you knew he
should
was
just
dead,
take
yes,
the
and,
slow push.
yeah. Otherwise, you just slow push this, crash next wave, and then go bot. Yeah.
To both have better timing for the bot roam and to have a better crash.
Yep. Better economy. It's harder on Seraphine to play against this. And then when you come back, so you'll crash the 2 waves, and you'll have more time. So then you go bot. Your wave showed up 8 seconds before bot wave. So bot wave as you're running, bot wave will just be crashing if they push really fast with like Annie and Jin. They'll just be crashing like right when you show up with your 2 waves, and then you'll be able to dive bot lane, and then sometimes you'll even be able to like recall, come back mid, and you'll only miss a couple creeps. The way this worked out, you still only missed I think 2 creeps because it was cannon wave, so the outcome was like really good. But the important idea here is that you're understanding like how to set up this play, or like how to think about it in the future. Because again, when you were in game, I was just asking you like, oh, do you want to like roam right now? Like you're just shoving this wave, or like were you already committed to roaming? So
Yeah,
it's like more
roaming like
about the thought
dogmatically, like
process.
one trick style roaming, as opposed to actually playing League of Legends roam.
Yeah, where Tryndamere wants to roam right now, or you feel like you can't kill Seraphine, so you have to roam. But then, like, how do you actually set up the roam is like the important question here. Like, how do
Yeah,
you actually roam effectively?
because it should be an option, not something that I'm like, all right, I have my 2 items. Let me try to force a play that possibly doesn't exist.
Yeah, it might not exist here, but as long as you're getting like confirmation that it does. So like again, when you walk up to this wave, you look at bot, you like make a conscious decision that you can dive, and then you figure out like what economically is the best way to actually dive them, and like on what timings am I actually going to be able to do it. Yeah, so it should be
Yeah,
like very flowcharty. There should be a lot of just like flowchart yes or no decisions that you're making to be
just
able
like
to make
a
sense.
if then statements.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. No, that makes sense. Of just sort of updating that, and also like I generally the way I've had success is honestly just kind of cheesing and having cheese flowcharts, and so focusing on these more sort of fundamental things that'll just always exist be useful. 23 and 53 for the wave timing is much more concrete for me to be able to think about how to sort of play waves.
Mhm.
That's just something I've never really heard about before, but it makes a ton
Yep.
of sense.
Because I just sat around and practiced tool until I figured it out. I haven't heard anybody talk about this
Yeah, yeah,
because I haven't heard anybody use game timer as a reference, but it's really useful.
yeah. No, no, for sure, for sure.
Uh, you, Oh, right. You just recall on low health. Okay. So we do this red buff play. So it might seem obvious, like why I'm like telling you to do this, especially like when it goes well like this. That when you see Olaf, this is just off like the mini map. I don't even need to see Olaf. Or I told you to look at him. I think I told you to look at his health.
Yeah, yeah.
But when he walks up the river like this, I'm telling you, hey, he's gonna do scuttle crab because he's walking up the river. And this is like all the information you need to go really fast, go do this red buff, and then fight him. Even if he was just doing scuttle and he ended up doing dragon.
Yeah, it didn't look like he was pathing straight towards the dragon pit. So I get why you would think that he was doing scuttle.
Yeah, and either one is totally fine. But
Yeah.
like this is why we're placing the pink ward here, is because we know that this is something we can do really consistently as Tryndamere, is get push mid,
Yeah.
invade red buff, take red buff, fight the opponent. And that it's harder. This is the information you gave me, was that it's harder to do this stuff for like raptors and golems because Tryndamere just doesn't have the sustain. And like his items are so shit right now.
Yeah. One thing I've been doing is if they're starting blue, sometimes I'll just fast push in the first wave and then take their red buff level 1.
Oh,
And that's
jeez. Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
and then fight them. When do you get level 2 off that with one wave?
Yeah, you get level 2 off of that with one wave.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah. This game ends pretty fast. I know there's more to talk about. The reason I was telling you to not go to this freeze was because I thought there could be 4 people on it. So when you don't see anybody mid like this, I get nervous when I see that they're freezing bot and I don't see anybody mid.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you like, hey, go top instead.
Yeah. What I would have done is kind of just try to hover the freeze, and then when I see that it's safe, then I'd go for it.
Oh yeah, so the good response to this, there is a really good response to this. While you can't see anybody right now, you could just sit mid, just slow push mid. Don't touch this wave.
Okay.
Wait for someone to show. Make somebody show. They're freezing bot, and it's scary if you can't see anyone. So don't touch this wave mid. Wait for the next wave mid, or wait until someone shows. Then push, then go bot, and try to go bot faster than they can. Even if you think that you can like 1v2 them, that's fine. But if you can't 1v3 them, you need to like go get there faster than somebody else, so you can crash the wave before it becomes a problem. And you need to constantly be watching this wave to make sure that it's not like frozen forever. This probably won't happen very often, but as more and more people begin like freezing sideways, especially on their tier 2 turret, this will become like a more important question.
Yeah, I've actually been seeing this a lot more often. Full freezing here.
Yeah, at the tier 2 turret. This is even happens in competitive as well.
And I'm also just jamming it. Yeah, pretty much. Just doomed for them.
Yeah, so I can definitely see a lot of the issues that are happening with Tryndamere right now. You can still definitely win games. You can definitely climb with Tryndamere. Unfortunately, you can definitely easily do this. And it just has to do with laning well, laning consistently, being able to make like consistent laning decisions. And this is referring to like when to E onto Seraphine. Obviously, it's like using game timer as a reference, thinking about like the enemy jungler, thinking about how to like use push to your advantage, and when you get pushed, like what does that mean for what you're going to do, and how much time you have before you have to come back to the lane. Getting these things all very consistent and like applying them to like a flowcharty like way of thinking is going to be like how you're able to like play any character and beat like anyone consistently, because there are a lot of players who like I'm sure if you take like any random like LCS player, they can climb and solo queue playing just about anything they want, and it's just because they have like better fundamentals than the average player.
Yeah, because I feel like if I played this game played the way I did against a better player or a better champion, that like I would not have been able to do as well as I did in this game. That Seraphine can't really punish the sort of like big mistakes that I made.
Yeah, and maybe it's that at some point you play against someone who's good enough where it's just Tryndamere can't do it. But don't think like that you've reached that point very early on, especially like if it's just like master tier. You just aren't meeting that point yet. If you keep playing against people like this, it's not Tryndamere, even if Tryndamere's really bad. Because you could be playing anything and you could be winning.
I'm somebody who's generally very not coin flippy, but sometimes I'm just really, really on my game. And when I'm in sort of that state, I pretty much just beat everybody. But so I definitely know that I feel like Tryndamere I can go really, really far with Tryndamere and mid Tryndamere. But it would just be sort of getting rid of the lows. But it's all in terms of my play, and I don't really think that my champion is inherently an issue in terms of like climbing, even when he's like this bad.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I feel like if I just
And he is fucking bad. Like every time I
yeah
thought
yeah
of something that like, oh, this might help him, it's always like you have to choose between two different Tryndameres, either like one that does damage or one that can like move around. And
yeah
like
yeah
yeah, there are huge problems. Hopefully he just gets a buff because even I want Tryndamere to be good. It's really annoying when I play against Tryndamere because you can never poke him out of lane and he's really
Hmm?
obnoxious to play against. He outscales you. But I want Tryndamere to be a good champion
Hmm?
because like that play style is interesting to play. And it's
Hmm?
interesting that like a lot of people don't know how to like do it very well, but it's very very obnoxious if someone knows how to like play like this very well. So I want this to exist in some format.
Yeah, I think
So
there's just so much potential for Tryndamere, even in like competitive play. It's just like how many people are willing to sort of put in the time to learn the different playstyle and different mechanics when you just spam another like 200 games
yeah,
of
you could just
Syndra or Renekton or
yes,
something.
yes, you could just do something more effective. Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
especially when we're talking about mid Tryndamere. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Um, I think this is all in this game just because it was like 16 minutes.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, this is most of the stuff that we're able to talk about. Is there anything else that seems weird right now that I feel like I didn't like fully talk about? Oh, I didn't go over this, but it is better to just R. But it's really hard to do it because you had to. Oh, you had Q. Maybe you had Q. Maybe you could
With the
Q
level
here.
up in Q, I wouldn't have needed to ult or R.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it is just sort of a
Yes, this is happening fast. Yes, you
yeah,
also have to know that this kill will give you level 6. And you can probably infer that,
yeah,
but it
yeah.
just barely gets you level 6.
Because that's one thing that I'll do a lot of level 6 baits where I'll take an int fight, um, like in a big wave when I'm just one minion from 6, and then I'll get 6, instantly level it up, and tease out a kill. Um, so like I'm used to just leveling and ulting, um, but I just didn't think about getting ult right there, so that was the issue. Right now would be a time where if I knew that Olaf was like topside or something, I might have considered trying to invade that red. Um,
Sorry, say that again. If you
if
knew
I
that.
yeah, if I knew that Olaf was topside for some reason, that would have been a time where I would have invaded the red that just spawned, taken the second
Oh, yeah,
red.
right then. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and you'll know this stuff by when this happens, when you place this ward on the left side and you see Tryndam or you see Olaf right now. Yeah, you have to count his CS and by the buff timers as well. So you look at his buff timer, so you figure out which buff he did first, and then you look at his camps, so you figure out in what order he most likely did the camps. And you can also like walk into his jungle if you get push, or you can like if your jungler walks into the enemy's jungle and you get information like what camps got done, you get a ton of information on what he's actually allowed to do. And then at 7 minutes, you have a lot of information on like what he has done in the past or where he's going to like likely end up to be efficient right now. Also, off deaths, you're able to infer a lot, especially if you've got information on one side of the jungle. You have a ton of information if he dies or if he ends up recalling on like what he's going to do. Where you should be able, with a bunch of like yes or no questions, to figure out exactly where he's going to be, as long as he's trying to be efficient. Because
Okay.
the alternative is always if he doesn't do this, he's being inefficient, and it might work in his favor that he does something that like is inefficient on paper, but he ends up getting a kill because of a gank that shows itself, or like he kills the enemy jungler because the enemy jungler is like invading out to the side or something, or like it's mostly like one of these two things. He's able to like he's able to get a kill somewhere. He's able to be more
Yeah,
efficient
yeah.
where normally with like proper play or like a better understanding of what's going on, he wouldn't be able to be efficient. But you're just
Okay.
trying to get a good idea of where he's going to be intuitively based on some of these things. So it's just important that when you see him like this, you click him and you think about what camps he did and like what he's going to do in the future. Now, this is something that you do when you don't feel overwhelmed by everything else that's happening. So right
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
if you don't feel like you can like if you feel like your thoughts are really loud, let's say, because you have to worry about because you said you feel really slow right now. So if like every minion right now is taking up all of your thoughts, or thinking about like Seraphine is taking up all of your thoughts, or thinking about like what you're going to build on Tryndamere, because there's a ton of questions to ask yourself in like a game of League. Right
Mhm.
now, you might not be able to click on Olaf and like think about all these things, and that's fine. But you just have to be aware that you need to get to a point where you can do that, where your thoughts are quiet enough, where you can take in this new information and like use it effectively.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah, this will happen all the time where your thoughts are too loud to be able to like look at Olaf and actively think about what he's doing, or
yeah.
like where he's going to.
It's like learning sort of any skill. Is that first? It kind of has to be a very conscious thing of like, all right, if you're learning MMA, like how do you punch? And you'll have to think about how to punch, but then it'll get to a certain point to where you just do it naturally without having to think about it. It becomes second nature, and then you can focus on sort of other aspects.
Yeah, yeah, and eventually you just become very efficient at like punching and thinking at the same time because you can internalize so much information and you can
Yeah, yeah,
make so many decisions without actively thinking about it. So this is what we're after in League of Legends, because we want to optimize how all these decisions are made.
yeah. And this is why having like very solid, concrete fundamentals, like wave understanding, as a big thing, makes it easier for you to have a sort of consistent gameplay so that you can focus on the more abstract concepts.
Mm. Yep, this is why we started laning. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I think that if I just had like if I could consistently just always do well in lane, which I feel like isn't an impossibility, then everything else would just be easier because I just have more ability to focus on those things.
Yeah, you'll constantly have to like build it up side by side as well, where like you can't become like the best laner without learning some things about jungle or learning some things about the other roles or learning some things about other characters. So
Yeah,
as you're
yeah.
getting better at laning, you'll have to build up these other aspects like side by side.
Mhm.
But with the main focus being on pushing your laning as far as you can get it and sort of
Mhm.
like solving problems as you encounter them there. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
that's sort of like
And
how the road goes.
yeah, and I've just been kind of ignoring fundamentals and then just doing really cheese things to ignore them.
Mm.
Like if I can consistently get level 2 kills on people, then laning fundamentals become a little bit less important.
Yep,
But
because you can just kill them.
yeah, yeah,
Who cares?
I should just not. I feel like to some degree, even if I feel like I can get kills, especially when I'm on a Smurf or something, I should just not, and then just try to play out the lane as if my opponent was better. Um, is that
Mm.
something that I should ever do? Is just having a little bit more like deliberate practice where I'm
Uh,
not just trying to snowball, stomp, and Pislow.
hmm. So if you know you can kill them, if they're doing something really dumb, you should just kill them.
Hmm?
Um, it sucks because then that game probably won't help you practice like more complex ideas or like more advanced concepts. But like this is why so many people complain about like NA solo queues. There aren't so many like really good players. It's so difficult to like push yourself to like do everything correctly and like
Hmm?
push yourself to like learn new things about laning to like do it more consistently over like a longer period of time, because it's like, oh, I don't need to. The person I'm laning against isn't even trying. So it's like, oh, I can't practice because the person across from me doesn't have the prerequisite information to like push me to like lane better. So you are sacrificing practice in a way by like solo killing your opponent. But if you're master tier right now, totally do it. Get to higher LP, get to higher MMRs, and you'll meet people who are at least better than this either D1 or master tier player that you're against right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so if you know you can kill them, definitely like take the advantageous trade. Don't play unnecessarily
like
respectfully.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. So
Or
yeah,
don't I don't
especially
know how
when
to
I'm
say that.
like
Fucking grammar.
yeah,
Oh,
especially
sorry.
when I'm on like this account and trying to climb it up to higher tiers.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
that. I was thinking
Okay.
like if I'm playing on like a 4 account or something.
Yeah, if you're on D4, maybe you can, yeah, that's a better place to like practice these ideas as much as possible, because you don't really care how your opponent plays. You're just trying to make like, imagine you're just trying to make like the most efficient like laning decision or the most efficient like economic decision.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
because it's
that's a better place for it. Yeah.
It's like a concept in jiu-jitsu where generally the best practice that black belts can get is against blue belts who have like some competency, but it's really just a place for the sort of black belt to be able to like practice and go over their fundamentals. If that makes any sense. I'm thinking if the
Yeah.
concept transitions to league.
Yeah, and like I'll do a lot of the stuff where I'll test things in Diamond and I'll play in different ways in Diamond. And I think this is like a pretty good carryover where I feel like it's not good for me to play something that I'm like totally new to or like totally foreign to against a challenger player because I know that I won't be able to win with it or I won't be able to like do what I want to do because I'll just lose.
Yeah, yeah.
Or like let's say like someone who's like really really good. But if I go into Diamond, I'll be able to like explore what that can do or what these ideas can do, and like along the way, I'll definitely get better at it really fast. So there is a period of time where it is appropriate for me to play against diamond players while I'm like trying to learn this stuff, and then you move it up like as quickly as possible, as quickly as you're comfortable to challenger players, because it is better practice once you're like competent enough to not get screwed over with it.
Yeah, yeah. Because like if I'm learning Oriana, or if you're learning Zoe, you're not really going to get efficient practice against challenger players just because we're probably going to get more like stumped to where we can't even really focus on actually learning.
Yeah, it'll be surviving. I'll be focusing on surviving
Yeah,
instead
yeah.
of learning. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely learned a lot, and then there's a lot to sort of think about with my own gameplay.
Yeah, cool. Okay. If there's more questions or anything, I'll send you this VOD so you have everything. But if anything, you end up having questions on later, or you think about it more, and there's some like to come back to me with, that's totally fine. You can send me on Discord, and we'll set up the other thing later this month, the other session that we got to do.
Yeah, yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
A lot of experimenting that I'm going to do with wave states and all of this stuff, just to try to sort of intuit, like use the solid concrete stuff to make these things more like second nature. Yeah, it's just a lot more practice I'm putting in. Good.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Max.
Yep, sounds good. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Bye.
See ya.
Yeah, that was the coaching session with Maxwell Waldo, strategic coach for Cloud9. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If there's anything that you learned from that game, you think you can apply to your own, go ahead and comment down below. Let me see what you think. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye. Good night.